amazing, beautiful people, and welcome back to another Kendrick Lamar reaction video. My word. To Pimp a Butterfly got off to a crazy start last week. Every song was an absolute banger, even the freaking interlude. Even the interlude was amazingly well done. That was an interlude. My guy was like, we're gonna take a short break. Everyone go get yourself a drink and some snacks and come back. And the song, the elevator music for Kendrick Lamar's album was amazing. Absolutely crazy. Everyone's told me this album is considered one of his best. I'm already understanding why, and we're barely scratched the surface. We still got we got 2 more parts. We got today, and then we're gonna do 6 freaking songs in the final part as well. By the way, the Kendrick Lamar reactions, people wondering, come out every Wednesday and every Saturday, okay? Oh my word, I'm excited for this. Please support these reactions by pressing that like button and pressing that subscribe button as well. We're so close to 600,000 subscribers, so if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you just press that button. Let's go over that milestone. It'd be amazing. Maybe one day we can have a gold plaque on that wall. Anyway, enough of my talking. Let's jump into my first time ever reaction to part 2 of Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. It's interesting because I thought that, like, because when we finished it and it ended on his scream, I was like, I wonder how listen to the song that, like, so well transitioned. Basically, I was wondering if you could listen to You on its own, because that scream transition from last week, and yeah, absolutely. Hopefully that makes sense.
Loving you is complicated. 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 I place blame when you steal, place shame when you steal. Feel like you ain't shit, feel like you don't feel confidence in yourself. Breaking no marble floors, watching anonymous strangers telling me that I'm yours. But you ain't shit, I'm confidential, tolerance nothing special. What can I blame you for? Nigga, I can name several. Situation I start with your little sister baking. A baby aside, just a teenager, where your patience? What was your antennas? What was the influence you speak of? You preached in front of 100,000 but never reached her.
What was your intentions? What did you speak of? You preached in front of 100,000 people, but what did you speak of? Who is he talking about here? Who is this about? I find it interesting because he's standing in front of the White House, so it does make me wonder if there's like some sort of reference there as well on the album cover. And again, this whole album sort of felt like an album about culture. Like, it felt more like that, you know, like Kendrick versus the whole damn country sort of vibe. Also, I wonder, and this may be just totally wrong, but I wonder if a lot of his tones are improvised, because it feels like it. Like, I wonder if when he gets in the booth, he doesn't even know what tones and styles he's going to put his voice in. Because he changes his tone so much, right? In his tracks all the time. And I wonder if that part is improvised, or if he always plans on doing these different tones for these different parts.
What was the influence you speak of? You preached in front of,
or he just lets emotion control it.
I fucking tell you, fucking failure. You ain't no leader. I never liked you, forever despised you. I don't need you. The world don't need you. Don't let them deceive you. Numbers lie too. Fuck your pride too. That's what dedication. Thought money would change you. Made you more complacent. Fucking hate you, I hope you embrace it. I swear loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated.
I wonder who this is about, you know? Like, you thought money would change you, and he's like saying, fuck it, no one needs you, the country don't need you. I wonder who this is about. And when he goes into the loving you is complicated chorus, it honestly just feels like an improvised chorus. This feels more like a freestyle than an official song. Like the way it flows.
Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated.
All the while with, like, what's that, saxophone?
Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated. Loving you is complicated. Loving you, not loving you. 100 proof.
I can feel your vibe and recognize that you're ashamed of me. Yes, I hate you too.
Jeez. What a trip this opening is. Bro, this is so trippy. Is anyone else watching this reaction with headphones on? Are you getting like the weird effect here? Isn't it this? I feel like I've been sucked into a damn horror movie. Like, the way this is like tripping out here, and it's like going from earpiece to earpiece, and you got these like random static cut in and outs here too. This is freaky. This is a freaky freaking song.
complicated. What I got to do to get to you.
You the reason why mama and them leaving.
Tone
no,
switch.
You shit. You say you love them, I know you don't mean it. I know you irresponsible, selfish, you deny you can't.
Wait, let me rewind that. I want to get those lyrics again.
You the reason why mama and them leaving. No, you ain't shit. You say you love them, I know you don't mean it. I know you irresponsible, selfish, you deny you can't help it. Your trials and
One thing, and this is such a simple random thing, but for some reason I love it, and I've never mentioned it before. I love the way he does his T's. Like when he enunciates that T. I don't know why, but I really love that.
tribulations a burden, everyone felt it, everyone heard it. Multiple shots, corners crying out, you were deserted. Where was your antennas again? Where was your presence? Where was your support that you pretend? You ain't no brother, you ain't no disciple, you ain't no friend. A friend never leave Compton for profit or leave his best friend, little brother. You promised you watch him before they shot him. Where was your antennas? On the road, bottles and benches. You FaceTime the one time, that's unforgiving. You even face.
Is this about him? A friend would never leave his best friend's brother. Like, and like talking about leaving Compton as well here. And that's Kendrick, right? Kendrick was with his best friend, and his brother was the one who got shot right when they went out there. And like, is he saying what people like? Is this supposed to be from the perspective of someone else talking to Kendrick? You know, someone who's pissed off that he left Compton. Someone who's pissed off that he done this. And this is like those sort of people. You know, like saying that sort of stuff, you know? Is that what this is supposed to be? That's what it feels like. This feels like Kendrick, like, immersing himself in someone talking to him.
Bitches, you FaceTime the one time. That's
FaceTime her one
you
time.
even FaceTime instead of a hospital visit. Get your thought.
And they, and at the beginning of this beat switch and tone switch here, he also mentioned his mama, right? So I feel like this is someone, maybe in his family, moaning at him about, and like when she's saying her, is talking about Kendrick's mother.
He'll recover well. Third surgery, they couldn't stop the bleeding for real. Then he died, God himself, and say you fucking failed. You ain't tried.
Then he died. So they said you FaceTimed her. Well, there's two different people here.
I know your secrets, nigga. Moose wings.
There's someone crying there as well. Do you know what? Because it's Kendrick, I don't even know if that's real or not real. I don't know if it's supposed to immerse you in the emotions of the track or it's actually just him on this track. This is a weird track. Like, this is weird. Like, the way it's been done, the complete switch up halfway through, this is a dark track. Like, the tone is dark, the emotions of it are super dark. Even the opening was bizarre and trippy. The lyrics feel like hard and depressing and they're just like negative, all around, like negative emotions towards Kendrick, towards his, like, him moving away, his progress and this sort of stuff. And it's all of that, you know? It's super dark.
This frequent, nigga. I know depression is resting on your heart for 2 reasons, nigga. I know you and a couple black boys ain't been speaking, nigga. Y'all damn near beefing, I see it and you're the reason, nigga. And if this bottle could talk, I cry myself to sleep, bitch. Everything is your fault. Falls breaking to pieces. Earthquakes on every weekend. Because you shook as soon as you knew confinement was needed. I know your secrets. Don't let me tell them to the world about that shit you thinking. And it's time to you out the Earl. I'm fucked up, but I ain't as fucked up as you. You just can't get right. I think your heart made a bulletproof. Should killed your ass long time ago. You should have filled that black revolver blast long time ago. And if
One thing I really wanted to say, by the way, the fact that we have a track like this, as trippy and as dark, and like, this feels like Kendrick reading a letter that was sent to him by like his auntie or something, you know? That's kind of what the energy it gives off here. And the fact that we have this kind of track, this kind of personal details being spewed out here, and all the while this like mellow jazz beat in the background that makes me feel like a cut scene in a freaking video game, you know? So like chilled and mellow, but we've got this like dark sort of lyrics on top of this one is nuts. It is like, it feels so personal and open. I also love the references to alcohol, which is I feel like it's like a callback to sort of Kendrick talking about how much that influenced like like in Compton, and we even saw it in the explanation about it, you know, with like swimming pools and stuff like that, and how alcohol was such this big thing, and how he nearly went down that, and how he was peer pressured into it, and how he had to cut that out, right? And I feel like we're sort of seeing the elements of that, you know, what's the negative? Then I guess the negatives of it.
You should have filled that black revolver.
But I was also gonna say, I really like how the end of every song leads you straight into the next one. Like he'll always end on like a word that or a note or a tone that leads you into the next one.
And if this marriage could talk it and say you gotta go, and if I told your secrets, the world of no money can't stop a suicidal weakness.
Fuck me. My word. You know what that song felt like? That song felt like therapy for Kendrick. That's what that's kind of the energy it gave off there. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna really be like excited to re-listen to that one like I have every other song on this album. Like I'm gonna be like, man, I want to listen to You again. That's probably not gonna happen because that is a weird song. And I don't mean weird in a negative way. I mean weird in a general sense. For starters, the complete switch up in the middle comes out of nowhere, and I assume that's where we were gonna like jump into the usual Kendrick upbeat, faster sort of style, you know? Like when he does those switch ups on a mellow sort of tone, he'll always go a bit more rapid with it, you know? Like I've always explained it as it feels like Kendrick just gets bored. Like he sort of starts on like a mellow tone, and then he's like, I'm bored. And halfway through just switches. And he's like, all right, fast, let's speed it up, double the tempo. And it just goes into like a completely different song, right? That's what I assumed was gonna happen on You. But instead it changed. Now the opening of the song felt maybe political, but then the second half, it makes you realize it's not political, it's personal. And then, like, it's literally about Kendrick and the move from Compton and how people are feeling about that sort of thing, right? And I wonder if they're all supposed to be towards Kendrick. You know, when, like, before, it was, like, talking about in front of 100,000 people, no one needs you, no one, and these sort of things. I wonder if the whole point in You is what people have said to Kendrick, that entire song. Because at first, I was trying to work out who was being spoken about. And then when we go into the second part of the song, it, like I said, it literally feels like like Kendrick got a voicemail or a letter from a family member and just read it word for word. Oh, man, choking on nothing. I just read it word for word. That's what it gave off. That kind of energy. In like the most dark and depressing kind of way. It felt like someone just talking to him. And his way of coping with that and handling that was just vocalizing it. Was putting himself in that person's shoes, vocalizing it and putting it on a track. And he was like, what shall I do with this? Well, this is negative and dark. Screw it. Let's throw a mellow jazz beat under it. I have to say, there is a heavy jazz influence on the instrumental in this album. To Pimp a Butterfly has so much jazz stylings in the tones and beats, and I love it. I'm a big fan of the jazz incorporation in music. It's one of the reasons I really love Japanese music. If you guys listen to some Japanese music as well, you'll know they utilize a lot of the instruments like the saxophone, the trumpet, the piano, and that jazz styling as well, which is like the modern equivalents, and I really like that. And I feel like Kendrick's bringing that back, which I really like as well, especially with an album that's about culture and obviously the cultural impacts of jazz and like Kendrick using that. I feel like it's very fitting, and I love that. It makes so much sense on this album so far. And I think that's obviously on purpose. My word. What a bizarre track You was. Damn. Yeah, wow. Alright, we got Alright next.
All's my life I has to fight, nigga. All's my life hard times like, yeah. Bad trips like, yeah. Nazareth, I'm fucked up, homie, you fucked up. But if God got us, then we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright.
I'm fucked up, you fucked up. But if God got us,
we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright.
Again, that jazz influence. My word, the beats are so good. These beats are something that you could see in a club, on a stage, or in a smoky jazz club in New Orleans, man. How does a hip hop track feel like that?
Alright, huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon'
So
be
good.
alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
And when I wake up, I recognize you looking at me for the pay cut. Bahamas, I be looking at you from the face down.
Like the flow on this one, a lot.
With the bass down. Skimming, and let me tell you about my life. Painkillers only put me in the twilight. With pretty pussy and Benjamin is the highlight. I tell my mama I love her, but this what I like. Lord knows, 20 of them in my Chevy, tell them all to come and get me. Reaping everything I sow, so my karma come in heaven. No preliminary hearings on my record. I'm a motherfucking gangster in silence for the record. Tell the world I knew.
Oh my word. That was gorgeous. That flow. Oh my word. Bro just took in a slight inhale, I mean. The slightest well, it's just like, that was it. Done. And then he just went crazy with it. Oh my word. Do you know what? I love that Kendrick has this like hidden in his back. Because this dude always just has these mellow sort of tones and he's just vibing with it. But every now and then, the dragon comes out. Every now and then, fire. Speed.
Motherfucking gangster in silence for the record. Tell the world I know it's too late. Boys and girls, I think I've gone crazy. Trying to side my vices all day. Won't you please believe when I say, when you know we've been hurt, been down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go? Nigga, and we hate po-po, wanna kill us dead in the street for sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright.
I like this. I like this. Again, we're talking about the culture. We're talking about the police and obviously the discrimination that goes there. And that's been referenced a bunch of times in this album. And again, that comes into the cultural sort of thing I feel like this album is going for. Which, it just seems like Kendrick just used this album just to shine a spotlight on a heavy issue, you know? Like, really bring more eyes to it. Which, again, amazing, right? What I also freaking love about this is that with this song, All Right, it's reminded me a lot, because it's all about, like, God, isn't it? It's all about religion. Like, saying all this stuff is going on, but I'm standing at the, you know, the church doors. I'm there at the church, and if we give ourselves over to God, we'll be all right. And it all ties back to the previous album. That's literally what this feels like. It feels like we're going back to there. And I like that. I like the tie-in. I like the callback. Good Kid, Mad City. The giving yourself over to God and how he felt like that. And then this. It's like that faith that Kendrick found again.
What you want? You a house, you a car, 40 acres and a mule, a piano, a guitar, anything. See, my name is Lucy, I'm your dog. Motherfucker, you can live at the mall. I can see the evil, I can tell it. I know it's illegal, I don't think about it. I deposit every other zero, thinking of my partner. Put the candy, painting on a Rico, digging in my pocket. And a profit big enough to feed you every day. My logic, get another dollar just to keep you in the presence of your Chico. I don't talk about it.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Again, the flow. I like two verses in a row, that flow. I also really like with the lyrics. You know, literally talking about like giving everything back. What do you want? Name your price. Do you want a new guitar? Do you want a piano? What would you like? You can live in the mall. Just live in the mall and buy whatever you want. Doesn't matter. What do you want? Do you want 40 acres of land? What the hell do you want? And then like literally then saying like, it doesn't matter what you get. Ain't nothing gonna be enough. You know, like that. It's not saying like, I can give you all of these things, but it doesn't matter how much I give you. It's never gonna be enough for you.
Be about it every day. I sequel. If I got it, then you know you got it. Heaven, I can reach you. Pet dog, my dog. That's all. Big back and chat. I trap the back for y'all. I rap, I black on tracks. So rest assured, my rights, my wrongs. I right till I'm right with God. When you know we been hurt, been down before. Nigga, when our pride was low, looking at the world like, where do we go?
God, the
nigga,
beats.
And we hate po-po.
Incredible on this album.
For sure. Nigga, I'm at the preacher's door. My knees getting weak and my gun might blow, but we gon' be alright.
Nigga, we gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. We gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Huh? We gon' be alright. Nigga, we gon' be alright. Do you hear me? Do you feel me? We gon' be alright.
I keep my head up high, I cross my
I like, for me, it literally feels like the beats on this album remind me a lot of Good Kid, Mad City beats, but with a jazz influence. And I feel like that kind of just like gives them the whole different style. But at the same time, it doesn't. It feels very Kendrick, but it feels completely different. This man is so incredibly unique. No one else could pull this shit off. No one else could take a jazz album, put it on a hip hop beat, and boom, make this and make it work. What an unbelievably unusual and unique style this is. I can't compare it to nothing. Loving Me Is Complicated. Shout out back to you.
dark nights in my prayers.
I remember you was conflicted, misusing your influence. Sometimes I did the same, abusing my power full of resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers.
The evils of Lucy. This interlude is 5 minutes long, by the way. What the hell? The evils of Lucy. The evils of Lucy. What does he mean by that? What does he mean? The evils of Lucy. What does he mean? What does he mean? What does it mean? Let me have a little look here. Lucy, gotta let go. Lucy, not timid, Lucy. Oh, no, the next song he's talking about Lucy. What does Lucy mean? Kendrick's love for Lucy is a metaphor for the acceptance of evil into our lives. Lucy is a romanticized form of Lucifer. All right. I'm glad I read that before we went into the next one, because some of the lyrics just popped up for sale, and it looks like he's gonna be talking about Lucy quite a lot in the next song. I see. The devil offers great fame and power, but requires Kendrick to turn against people to give in completely. This gets him the fame and fortune, but at what cost? I see. This whole album feels like two things, right? For me so far. It feels like on one, it is Kendrick talking about the culture of America. And obviously the issues in like the division between race and obviously the brutality of the police and etc. and etc. And it just goes on. And and I feel weird saying it because look at me. Like, it's weird me saying this, but it's true. And I feel like only an idiot wouldn't point out how bad it is, you know? And like, I feel like the whole album is Kendrick shining a light on that incredibly fucked up issue, which is awesome, you know? Like, that's what you need. More people shining a light on that. And I feel like that's what this whole album's doing. But that's one part of this album. The other part of this album feels like Kendrick talking about how other people are perceiving him, as well as how he is perceiving himself after his life is changing, you know? And I feel like All Right is looking at that, you know, talking about giving himself over to God. I feel like You has even been like that, talking about how other people are perceiving him, you know? And like in All Right, he literally talks about like he's able to give all these people all the money and the fame in the world, but then he's like saying it's never going to be enough. And again, that could be like him talking about how he's feeling, you know, now he's got this stuff, he's realizing it's not enough and it's not what he wants, which is probably which leads him to like I don't know, when Humble came out, well, see, with songs like Humble, that's literally like him talking about still loving the same things he loved when he started, you know, still enjoying the same things he did, eating the same foods. So it feels like maybe Kendrick got a taste of the money, the fame, and realized this wasn't for him. So he just started like giving it away, but then realizing he didn't really like doing that either, because he was changing people, and then people were expecting that, and then people were acting upon that, and it was never enough. People always wanted more, and Kendrick's just like dealing with all of that, dealing with this sudden influx of cash into his life that he never had before, and trying to like understand it, and not get like, you know, Lucy knocking on his door and making him make all these bad decisions, making him forget about Compton, forget about these people, and just focus on the material things. And I feel like that is also a big thing in this album too. It is those two things. It is Kendrick talking about the culture of America with racial division, as well as Kendrick talking about himself understanding like the people around him and him with the new influx of money and fame. I don't know if I'm completely misunderstanding, but that is what I've perceived this album so far. And I have to say, the way he is doing it is fantastic. All Right, it somehow feels like a vibe as well as a very important listen. Feels like a personal opening diary entry, as well as a song you're just going to slowly bob your head to. It's amazing how someone like Kendrick Lamar can literally open up his diary, read out a chapter, and you're there bobbing your head, vibing to it. Even though it's personal, deep, intimate, and sad at times, you're just nodding along to the smooth jazz beat and the smoother tones of Kendrick Lamar. It is nuts how this man can do that. It actually is. All right. For Sale interlude. It would be really funny if the whole 5 minutes of this song is just this. That'd actually be amazing. Just some like a cappella track. way, two things. For some reason, whenever I drink something on a video, people always ask me what I'm drinking. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's like a YouTube thing or people are just supposed to say. It's a Rubicon Raw Energy. It's like the healthiest energy drink you can get. I try not to drink too many of them, but I'm like flagging today a little bit. So that's why I'm drinking that one. And just in case people are wondering. I don't know if they're UK only or whatever. Anyway, the other thing I wanted to say is, so far for me, the timeline of Kendrick Lamar that I have got is Kendrick Lamar, Compton. And then he, like, with Good Kid, Mad City, has had this rise in fame. And then To Pimp a Butterfly is him literally, this, like, at this point in his life where he is, like, he got this influx of money and he's trying to understand himself with that influx of money and how people are perceiving him. And now, because of this and then the beef and everything that we've got, for me, it feels like Kendrick was like, Kendrick in Compton, like, he's just chilling in Compton. He had this sudden influx of cash and money, had to re-find himself, decide what he wanted, maybe struggled with some things. You know, he talks about Lucifer and that sort of stuff. You know, he reaffirmed his beliefs and his family and what's true to him. You know, threw away the material things, then became the humble dude that we know today. Like, that's kind of what this feels like. The journey of Kendrick.
Now, baby, when I get you, I'ma go hit the bottle with you. Smoking, looking, poking the danger till I'm out with you. Cause I want you. Now, baby, when I'm riding, yeah, I'm riding dirty. Registration is out of service. Smoking, looking, drinking that potion. You can see me swerving. Cause I want you. I want you more than you know.
So this whole track for me, For Sale, right, already, based off the first minute, 30 seconds, what we know Lucy means and this sort of stuff, and talking about I'm going to get you, you know, he knows the Bible too, I'm guessing he's talking about Lucifer, and saying like about smoking and drinking, this sort of stuff. For Sale, I feel like is literally the devil asking if your soul is for sale. That's what this feels like, you know, and talking about all the things that people say, I don't know how people word it. I'm not a religious person. My family are, but I'm not really like growing up. My family were. I'm not personally religious. But I understand and respect all religions. You know. I wish I was religious. I always say this, and I'm not joking when I say that. When I see people who have this like true belief and faith in something, I'm jealous. I wish I had that faith. I wish I had that belief, and I'm not joking when I say that. I really do. One day I hope I meet someone who just convinces me to believe in something, because I cannot imagine how peacefully incredible it must be to truly believe in your heart that there's something waiting for you at the end. And I'm not joking when I say that. That to me is the ultimate form of like a beautiful life, is not being afraid of death. And I feel like only religion can do that, and I've never been able to find that myself. I just wanted to clarify that in case people were wondering or had any questions about it. But yeah, I'll always be respectful, understanding everyone's religion, and always listen to it because it's important to people. You should respect everyone's beliefs. But yeah, that's what I was like talking about this, like the vices of the devil. That's what I was trying to get. That word, the vices, the alcohol, the smoking, that stuff. Sorry about that ramble.
I remember you took me to a mall last week, baby. You looked me in my eyes about 4 or 5 times till I was hypnotized, and you clarified that I want you. You said Shireen ain't got nothing on Lucy. I said, you crazy? Rose are red, violets are blue, but me and you both pushing up daisies if I.
Sure ain't got nothing on Lucy, sure ain't got nothing on the devil, but we're both gonna be pushing up daisies dying if I want you as well. You know what I've just realized as well? The cultural thing with the jazz and blues music and the talks about Lucifer and that sort of stuff actually fits. I've listened to a lot of old school blues and jazz, and there's a lot of ones I really like. And this sort of topic gets brought up quite a lot. And there's a lot of stories around the discovering of like Lucifer and these different forms in blues music.
I'ma go hit the bottle with you, smoking, looking, that danger till I'm out with you, cause I want you.
Isn't there even like rumors about jazz? Isn't there even rumors about jazz artists like selling their souls and these sort of things? There's like rumors about it. I feel like there was an episode of Supernatural where they talked about it.
Cause I want you. You said to me, you said your name was Lucy. I said, where's Ricardo? You said, oh no, not the show. Then you spit a little rap to me like this. When I turned 26, I was like, oh shit. You said to me, I remember what you said too. You said, my name is Lucy Kendrick. You introduced me, Kendrick. Usually I don't do this, but I see you and me, Kendrick. Lucy give you no worries. Lucy Lucy got million stories about these rappers that I came after when they was boring. Lucy gon' fill your pockets. Lucy gon' move your mama out of Compton inside the gigantic mansion like I promised. Lucy just wants your trust and loyalty. Avoiding me, it's not so easy. I'm at these functions accordingly. Kendrick, Lucy don't slack a minute. Lucy work harder. Lucy gon' call you even when Lucy know you love your father. I'm Lucy. I loosely heard prayers on your first album, truly. Lucy don't mind, cause at the end of the day you'll pursue me. Lucy go get it. Lucy not timid.
Literally talking about like at these functions, I'm there, you know, I'm gonna try harder, I'm gonna work harder, which sounds like someone battling with addiction, because that's what they say, every day is a battle, every day is a fight. I imagine every single person watching this knows someone or themselves has had a battle with addiction, and everyone I talk to who has literally talks about how every day is a fight. And I feel like people forget that, you know, like I after talking to people with addiction, I understand. Obviously I can never fully understand, I've never suffered with myself, but I understand that what I just perceive as a normal day is not normal. That every day is a fight. Every day. And I cannot imagine how difficult that must be. And that's what Kendrick's talking about right here with this song. That Lucy's there. Lucy's working harder. Lucy's like fighting and trying and calling and will always be there. And it just looks so glamorous. You know, I'm going to give you the best life. Just give yourself over to this. Give yourself over to all of this.
Lucy up front. Lucy got paperwork on top of paperwork. I want you to know that Lucy got you all your life. I watched you, and now you all grown up to sign this contract if that's possible. Get you. I'ma go hit the throttle with you.
For sale, huh? You for sale? Sign this contract. It's your soul for sale.
Now, baby, when I'm riding, yeah, I'm riding dirty. Registration inside of service. Smoking local, drinking in motion. You can see me swerving, cause I want you.
It's the allurement of it as well that Kendrick just nails, doesn't he? You know, talking about like, I can fill your pockets, I can get your mum out of Compton, I can do all these things. It's that allurement, you know? That allurement. Kendrick is so brilliant at this. He describes it so well. What a brilliantly messed up track about addiction in the most wonderful way. This man is a fucking genius.
I remember you was conflicted.
Actually a genius, by the way. After this part, I'll go into it a bit more. But honestly, the way he describes addiction, the way he describes the allurements, and like the shining diamond of come over here, I'm gonna give you everything you want. Just masterclass. A masterclass in songwriting.
Using your influence. Sometimes I did the same. Abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers. Until I came home.
Until I came home, and the next song's called Mama. Oh my word, man. This guy is a master in his craft. He absolutely is. I've checked out other songs where they reference and talk about addiction, but I have to be honest, I don't know if I've ever heard one quite like this. One that is literally from the perspective of the vice, you know, of the drink, of the drug, of the money, of the you know, the person trying to, you know, the adulteress, is that the right term? I don't know, the person trying to like seduce you outside of like your loyal marriage or anything. Like literally the vices, you know? Like I remember Bill Burr talked about this really well, where there was like, and I know this is going to sound really weird, and I'm not saying I'm for this in any way, but Bill Burr talked about it amazingly, where he said like, that you would have it was like, I think it was like when, with the Tiger Woods stuff, and it was all these people who were all like moaning and complaining and like saying how awful it was and this sort of stuff and how they would never do it and never act like this. And then I remember Bill Burr talking about it, and he was pissed off, and he like came out and literally said, so props to Bill Burr for everything I'm about to say, and he literally said, it's crazy how all these people immediately just presume someone's situation and how they would act in it. Where it's like none of them have ever experienced that. You know, none of them ever experienced that kind of wealth, that kind of money, that kind of attention. Everywhere you go, every single day, inboxes, DMs, everything blowing you up. And not just that, but like the best of the world in all the darkest ways at your doorstep, you know, wanting you to open that door all the time. And Kendrick would have never experienced this either. And I remember Bill Burr talking about that. If you want to check out Bill Burr, Tiger Woods. He goes into it, and it was just like, it was really eye-opening because it does make you realize that one person on the outside will look on the inside and just immediately assume that they would act a certain way. But they don't know. And you never will know. And even guessing on the outside, you're never going to know because you're not that person. You haven't walked in their shoes. You can only guess what the situation is going to be like. And that is literally what Kendrick is saying here. That is literally what this is. That whole song is literally Kendrick just talking about addiction. But it also feels like Kendrick, like, in this situation, you know, where he's like suddenly famous, suddenly rich, got all of this. And all of that stuff that comes with it, no one's practiced for, no one knows. And it just comes out of nowhere, especially for people like this who have just like blown up. And it's just, whoa, look at this. You know, like made famous overnight sort of situation. Go from living in Compton, having people shoot at you, and then what? Like, how quickly did it happen for Kendrick? And then he's rich, he's famous, everyone knows his name, and he's selling out shows. And it's just like that difference, you know? Like every person he meets just wanting to be his friend or wanting to sleep with him or, you know, wanting to buy him things and just like just all of that. And every record label wanted to sign him, every music person wanted to work with him. All these like people just suddenly like, hey, we want to do it, blah, 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 like just in your pockets, in your face. And that's what that felt like for Sale. Lucy representing all of those negative vices that just suddenly arise out of nowhere. And it's not like Kendrick didn't have them before because Good Kid, Mad City showcases that. You know, he had the addiction, the drinking, the alcohol, the drugs, like everything around his like childhood, the violence and the aggression and all of that. That was all there. But then he finds a different side of it. And in his mind, I imagine he thought like when he got famous, when he got rich, all of that stuff was going to fade and it would just be great. You know, he's got all this money. He can just like give his friends the best life, give his mum the best life. Look how great everything is. But all the negatives, Lucy followed him. You know, all of that followed him and just changed, adapted like a freaking evil shapeshifter. And the vices were different. And the knocks on the door were different, but they were still there. They were different, but they never changed. If anything, maybe they were enhanced. And that's what this feels like. Especially with that like interlude part, you know, where Kendrick is talking. You know, when he's like talking to us, when he's being open and personal at the end of these tracks. That's what that feels like. Where is Kendrick talking about like he thought this was what he wanted and then he was getting lost in it. Not understanding, not knowing where to go. You know, like all these things knocking on his door, all these troubles. And just being like lost. And just not knowing, like not like having no one able to guide him. And that's what this all feels like. And there's no way anyone could ever imagine what that's like unless you're in that situation. And the thing is, every individual is going to have a completely different situation as well. So, like, if I was ever in that situation, it'd be completely different to Kendrick in that situation because of upbringing and past, everything like that. So, even if someone else was in that situation, they'd never fully know what it was like to be that person in that situation. And I feel like the fact that Kendrick is being so open on this fucking album is mind-blowing. Because when you're really deep to Pimp a Butterfly, this is just a man, like, in therapy. This is a man being open with his listeners, telling them about all the difficulties that he had. That he thought the money, the fame was going to like take him to these amazing places. And it did. But it had so much shit that came with it. And he was like fighting all of that every single day and just losing himself and just realizing this isn't what he wanted. And I don't know if I'm completely misunderstanding or misinterpreting To Pimp a Butterfly, but that's what it's feeling like to me. That it really is. And then ending it on Until He Went Home. And then this next song's called Mama. I have to say, the amount of admiration I have for this man for being so plainly open with his, like, because even one of the verse lines earlier was like, I thought you wanted to keep it gangster. And I can imagine that someone who like comes from that kind of upbringing, like even like I had that kind of upbringing where it's like, guys don't cry, guys don't talk about like their personal things, you know? I had that with my dad, like that was it. And now I cry and I'm open with my emotions and it's fucking wonderful, right? And I feel like that, like for Kendrick to be as open as he is with us, considering his upbringing, and I imagine like there was a lot of people like, ah, man, you shouldn't be telling people this, you shouldn't be sharing this kind of stuff, this is personal stuff, why are you telling the world all this? The fact that Kendrick does, it helps other people heal, it helps other people overcome. The amount of respect I have for this human being, I fucking love him. I love this man.
Oh shit! I need that. I need that sloppy. That sloppy. Like a Chevy in quicksand. Yeah. That sloppy.
I don't like the opening lyrics of a song called Mama. I'm gonna be honest, it's a bit weird.
This feeling is unmatched. This feeling is brought to you by adrenaline and good rap. Black Pendleton, ball cap.
West.
We don't share the same synonym, far back. West. Been in it before internet had new acts. Mimicking radio's nemesis made me whack. My innocence limited, the experience lacked. 10 of us with no tentative tactic that cracked. The mind of a literate writer, but I did it in fact. You admitted it once I submitted it, wrapped in plastic. Remember scribbling, scratching, diligent sentences backwards, visiting freestyle ciphers for your reaction. Now I can live in this stadium, pack it the fastest. Gambling, Benjamin benefit, sending in traffic, spinning women in cartwheels, linen fabric on fashion, winning in every decision. Kendrick is master that mastered it, isn't it? Lovely how menacing.
I like this track. Literally just Kendrick talking about just rapping for fun. You know, I was just freestyling it, and then all of a sudden now I'm like, you know, got this fine silk. I'm just chilling in traffic. Women will love me, and it just talking about like how quick it went from this to this, and how he just did it because he loved doing music. He loved doing it.
Shit, winning in every decision. Kendrick is master that mastered it, isn't it? Lovely how menaces turn attraction. Pivoting rappers finish a fraction while writing blue magic. Thank God for rap. I would say it got me a plaque, but what's better than that? The fact it brought me back home.
The fact it brought me back home. Do you know what I've just found interesting about this album cover? Most people are holding drinks. Most people are holding money. Which literally matches the whole temptation of To Pimp a Butterfly.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
Who's been waiting for you? He's going back home.
I know everything. I know everything, know myself, I know morality, spirituality, good and bad health. I know fatality, my haunt you. I know everything, I know Compton, I know street shit, I know shit that's conscious. I know everything, I know lawyers, advertisement, and sponsors. I know wisdom, I know bad religion, I know good karma. I know everything, I know history. I know the universe works mentally. I know the perks of bullshit, is it meant for me? I know everything. I know cars, clothes, hoes, and money. I know loyalty, I know respect, I know those that's unreal. I know everything, the highs, the lows, the groupies, the junkies. I know if I'm generous at heart, I don't need recognition. The way I'm rewarded, well, that's God's decision. I know you know that line's for Compton School District. Just give it to the kids, don't gossip about how it's distributed. I know how people work. I know the price of life, I'm knowing how much it's worth. I know what I know.
It's interesting hearing Kendrick talk about like this part, because it's like it doesn't really match what we've heard. And I find it interesting if like there's ignorance in him saying this, like him saying he knows everything, he knows all this stuff, and if there's like an ignorance in that, and he's like, he doesn't know everything, and that's what this is supposed to be. But I don't think it is, and that's why I'm saying it's a contradiction to what we heard previously, where he sort of feels lost, because now it almost feels like he's awoken. Now it feels like everything's making sense and everything's lining up, and in this moment he is actually going like looking at everything and looking at all his past experiences and realizing why people are treating him the way they are and who's acting like with evil intentions and all these different things. And he's literally sitting there looking at it all going, shit, like I know it all. It all makes sense. I know why you're acting like that. I know why you want this. I know why you're doing this. Like I've experienced this 10 different ways. I know all of this thing. You know, I'm going to give money to these people to distribute to those people, and they're going to do it the wrong way because they want to cut and how it should do, and then it's just going to sit there. Just give it to them. You know, that sort of thing, like talking about organizations and charity and trying to like look after, and like he talks about like the schools in Compton. I imagine that's something he wanted to do, but then he's saying like giving them money and like just give it to the children. Why is it so difficult? Talking about how it should be distributed, you know?
I know it well not to ever forget.
He's like learning the inner workings of the system.
The day I came home.
We've been waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you, waiting for you.
I met a little boy that resembled my features. Nappy afro, gap in his smile. Hand-me-down sneakers bounce through the crowd. Running number home men and women that crossed him. Sunbeaming on his BDBs, exhausted. Tossing footballs with his ashy black ankles. Breaking new laws, mama passed on home training. He looked at me and said, Kendrick, you do know my language. You just forgot because of what public schools have painted. Oh, I forgot, don't kill my vibe, that's right, you're famous. I used to watch on Channel 5, TV was taken. But never mind, you're here right now, don't you mistake it, it's just a new trip. Take a glimpse of your family ancestor, make a new list of everything you thought was progress, and that was bullshit. I know your life is full of turmoil, you're spoiled by fantasies of who you are. I feel bad for you, I can attempt to enlighten.
It must be so weird, because like Kendrick's talked about like how people have sort of reacted to like this fame for him, and like because Kendrick obviously being someone who wants to give back to Compton and where he grew up and that sort of stuff, but there being an immediate like red flag or like disgust almost for people making it. So even Kendrick returning to his home and going home, there's still people there. Even this kid saying like, oh, I forgot you're famous, you know? Like literally that immediate detachment. It's like Kendrick never even grew up there, you know? Like that, and how weird it is, and how it's like you made it, you left. It's like, nah, you're not one of us. And it's like that kind of idea, that feeling. Because how weird must that be for someone like Kendrick who wants to give back to the community to then have, not everybody, but some people in the community feel like he abandoned the community. And it's not the first time he's mentioned that on this album either. And I can't imagine how like heartbreaking that must be for someone like Kendrick, who's so passionate about where he came from.
You without frightening you, if you resist, I back off quick, go catch a flight or two. But if you pick destiny over rest in peace, then be an advocate. Tell your homies especially to come back home.
This is a world premiere.
It's like a bizarre radio show, this.
This is a world premiere. This is a world premiere.
I've been looking for you my whole life, and never time for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or man? Tell me something, got me losing my mind. You make me wanna jump. Let's talk about jump. Let's talk about jump. Let's talk about jump.
He literally said, I've been looking for you all of my life, and then talking about like where am I? Am I in women, money? Like where am I hiding? I wonder if there's just like happiness or something like that. I wonder what that's supposed to be, or is it Lucy back?
Let's talk about looking for you my whole life, and never time for the feeling I can barely describe. Where you reside? Is it in a woman? Is it in money or man? Tell me something big, I'm losing my mind. I say where you at, from the front to the back. I'm looking for you, I react only when you react. I thought I found you back in the ghetto when I was 17 with the 30th best show. Maybe you in a dollar bill, maybe you're not real, maybe only the wealthy get to know how you feel. Maybe you're paranoid, maybe I don't need you anyway. Don't lie to me, I'm suicidal when it be. I can be your advocate, I can bridge for you if you tell me what the matter.
I wonder what that's supposed to be. I wonder what that's supposed to represent. I wonder who that is, who's looking for what that's supposed to be. Talking about like the feeling you're looking for and where it resides. And then like maybe I found you when you were 13 in that first dollar or something like that, he sort of said. So could that be Lucy? Could that be the first sign of temptation? You know, like could it be like Lucy and Kendrick getting $1 and that was his first sign of temptation and him like chasing that kind of fame? Is that what that's supposed to represent, or is it something different? You know, like because for a second I thought like when he was 13 and that sort of thing, it was like talking about death and it was supposed to represent like the Grim Reaper looking for him. You know, or it could be something completely different. I've just totally misunderstood it. But I love how there's always such like deep and interesting meaning. A few people wanted me to like check this out with Genius. But I kind of like doing it this way. And I'd imagine a few people watching this like, dude, just get Genius up. It will tell you all this. But I kind of prefer it. And for me, this is the reactions I'm kind of enjoying. I like having this like interpretation where I'm not 100% understanding it. Where I'm not sitting here like getting every single bar and every single line. Where maybe I'm wrong. And then I can read the comments and people can say, well, actually this. Or other people can have different interpretations. Because I feel like that's what these albums are always supposed to be, you know? Like open to interpretation, and even though they have meanings, people are gonna like attach themselves in different ways to it, you know. I feel like the best lyricists in the world make these songs, and they make them so people feel them and attach them and sort of like can put themselves in these shoes and can have some relatability to these tracks. And I feel like Kendrick does that brilliantly. Like Kendrick will share his story, 10 different people relate to it 10 different ways, and those are the best lyricists. Like a lyricist. A brilliant freaking god-level lyricist will literally say, I walked down the street, I got a can of Fanta, I went home, sat down, enjoyed the sunshine. All right? And on the surface seems the most plain, simple, understanding sentence ever. But when it's deep, it's interpreted multiple different ways in different things. And when it was written, it was intended to be interpreted multiple different ways, different things. It wasn't just an accident. Those are the best lyricists. And Kendrick, I feel like, does that better than most. Like, this guy is on a top level. Like, when we broke down the freaking like a beef, and we went into every line, the interpretation behind every single thing, mind-blowing. Like, the meaning behind every line, mind-blowing. Like, paragraphs behind 2 words, crazy. Yeah, the ending there, I find curious, because the song is called Mama, and he talks about going home. And then there was, like, a negative about, like, going home as well. But then, like, also, like, trying to, like, you know, attach himself back to it and understanding the situations of how it is. And, yeah, and, like, how different people, like, perceived him. And him, like, relating to, like, a kid, like, and sort of, like, seeing himself in it as well. In that situation, and seeing himself in the kid as well. And it's, like, I find it so interesting because, like, in that moment, was that kid, like, being negative about Kendrick, you know? Like, saying about him, oh, you're famous now, never mind, I forgot, bitch, don't kill my vibe. Like, is that kid in that moment going, like, you know, but you're famous? Like detaching himself from that? Or, like, because Kendrick's saying he sees that too, and he remembers that's how he felt? Or is it different there, you know? And that's what I love about this. I love about it. Every meaning is deeper. Everything is deeper. Everything just hits different. Hits different. Everything. This album is just fucking genius. Good Kid, Mad City, genius. But the good genius thing about Good Kid, Mad City was I'd never heard an album that was like a concept album about an entire night, or like a few, or like a scenario, right? And how it's so brilliantly like done. Like literally someone telling a story about an evening in an album was amazing. This oh man, I don't know why I'm just choking on nothing. This feels like, at first it was like a cultural thing, you know, and him talking about the culture of America. But now I'm feeling like this album is more like a therapy, like Kendrick venting, Kendrick telling us, like letting us all inside of his mind. That's what this feels like. And it is amazing how it's done, amazing how it bridges those two things, how it has that jazz, blues, instrumental influence on this hip hop beat. I feel like it's bringing 2 generations of culture to 1 year, 1 track, 1 album. And how open and just personal he's being. It's just mind-blowing. Hood politics.
Okay, that. Pick up the phone, nigga. Every time my call is going to voicemail. Don't tell me they got you on some weirdo rap shit, nigga. No socks and skinny jeans and shit.
I actually find that kind of funny because the no socks and skinny jeans. I actually kind of I forgot how funny because you gotta be honest. Every time you see someone in those fancy shoes, you know, I don't even know what they're called, and they got no socks and skinny jeans on, you do judge them. Don't you act like you don't? You do. You are like like. I bet everyone's like, nah, man, that's just you. You do as well. Don't you? Come on. That laugh.
Call me on Shanika's phone.
I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo.
Oh!
Your own boy, you block that you're from. Boo boo. Little hoes you went to school with. Boo boo. Baby mama and your new bitch. Boo boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies. I don't give a fuck about no politics and rap, my nigga.
Did he say on the dead homies?
On the dead homies.
I'm not sure there. I'm not sure. It could be. It's actually kind of hard to tell. If he is, then I imagine it's literally him talking about all these people he grew up with, and someone just like saying, you know, like, you remember this girl, you remember this dude, you remember these people? Yeah, they're gone. And like, they're just that. It's crazy. That's actually nuts. When you like that on its own, if you like just think about that, how many people do you think call up like their mum or their dad or go back to their hometown and they're like, yeah, that person dead, that person dead, you know, they got shot, they got stabbed, they got killed, like, you know, these people like on drugs, alcohol, these sort of things. Like, how many people do you think have that? Don't you think that just hearing that, like to me, that's just like an alien life. I feel like something like that needs to be highlighted. Because the fact that anyone has that kind of existence is just so sad. And I feel like this is what Kendrick is trying to change. And it's something that needs changing. Because that,
I don't give a fuck about
like
no
I said,
politics
aliens
and
to
rap,
me.
my nigga. I little homie stunner deuce ain't never coming back, my nigga. So you better go hard every time you jump on wax, my nigga. Fuck what they talk about, your shit is where it's at, my nigga. Came in this game, you stuck your fangs in this game. You want no chain in this game, your hood, your name in this game. Now you double up, time to bubble up the bread and huddle up. Stick it to the scripts, now if them Benjamins go cuddle up. Skip, hop, drip, drop, flip, flop with the white tube sock. It go. That's what the product smell like when the chemicals mix. 50 niggas salute out the Compton Zoo with the extras. Elcos, Monte Carlos, Road Kings and dressers. Rip Riders, P-Funkers, Mexicans, they fuck with you. Asians, they fuck with you. Nobody can fuck with you. I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your homeboy, your block that you're from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies.
Let me find out what he's saying there. 14 years later. Let me find out. Let me find out here. Let me find out. Hood politics lyrics. Is he saying on the dead homies? He is. Because I could, like, it kind of sounds like day as well. So I wasn't 100% sure. My word. Also, I've just realized Mortal Man is 12 minutes long. It's the last song on this track. I just got like all the times pop up here. Man, our next reaction is going to be a big one. Good. I want it to be a big one. We're wrapping up this album. I want a nice big one. So he's saying 14 years later, and we're talking about all these people as well. That's what it feels like to me. Hood politics. 14 years later, going back home. And that's where I feel like we are now in this album. And just all these people are no longer around. You know, and we're like, I don't know, it could either be like just living our lives, but all these people are dead, and it's just like pointing out how like crazy that is, or it's like saying remembering them, honoring them, respecting them.
Hopped out the caddy, just got my dick sucked. The little homies called and said the enemies that clicked up. Oh yeah, Puto wanna squabble with me, Vadio. Oh yeah, tell them they can run it for the cardio. Oh yeah, everything is scandalous. Slow motion for the ambulance. The project filled with cameras. The LAPD gambling, scrambling. Football numbers slandering. Niggas' names on paper, you snitched all summer. Streets don't fail me now. They tell me it's a new gang in town. From Compton to Congress. Set tripping all around. Ain't nothing new but a fluid new deal. My Crips and Republicans. Red state versus a blue state. Which one you governing? They give us guns and drugs, call us thugs, making they promise to fuck with you. No condom, they fuck with you. Obama say what it do.
The politics I find so interesting as well. Like talking about the red state, blue state, and like the division there. I heard someone say this recently, and obviously I'm not American. I don't live in America, but I feel like everyone in the world is kind of like knows American politics at the moment. I honestly feel like one of the most fucked up things in politics in any country is when people make one side their entire personality and there's division behind an entire country. You know? Like, the idea... Because here in the UK, for example, our left and our right, very divided, right? And yet, no one, or a small minority of people, but the majority of people here, like, don't flat out hate the other side for who they voted for. You know? Whereas I definitely feel like in America, and I feel like Kendrick just saying that as well, there's such a division, you know, between the left and the right. And I even like heard someone, I think it might have been Bill Burr again, like saying like when people say like, you voted for this person, fuck you, I'll never like you, go die. And it's like, again, that's just reaffirming that division. It's like the idea should be bringing those people over to your side, not pushing them further into their own, right? Isn't that kind of the point? Like, and like, isn't it supposed to be like again, for America, the United States, you know, that's what it's supposed to be. And obviously, again, I'm an outsider, so you can ignore what I'm saying completely. But I think that division is something that they thrive on, the government thrive on. Whether you're left or right, who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, the people in charge, they're getting all the money, they're living great lives. It doesn't matter who's sitting in that office, they're fucking loving it, while everyone else is fighting. You know, they're just there, just going, yeah. You hate that side, you hate that. Did you hear what they said about you? They're like, whoever's in office, left or right, is literally just a fucking instigator, a little bitch who sits back and just goes, did you hear what the left said about you? They said this about you. Did you hear what the right said about you? They said this about you. Just dividing people further and further. And again, I feel like that's what Kendrick's just hitting on here. People are supposed to be united. I mean that in the world, by the way.
Day one, you niggas boo-boo. Your homeboy, you block that you from, boo-boo. Little hoes you went to school with, boo-boo. Baby mama and your new bitch, boo-boo. We was in the hood, 14 with the deuce. 14 years later, going hard like we used to on the dead homies. On the dead homies.
14 years later, going hard like we
Everybody
used
wanna
to.
talk about who this and who that, who the realest and who whack, or who white and who black. Critics wanna mention that they missed when hip hop was rapping. Motherfucker, if you did, the killer might could be platinum. Y'all priorities fucked up, put energy in wrong shit.
I love that. I love that. Your priorities are fucked up. Like literally talking about like talking about skin color and talking about people saying they miss rap when it was like this and that sort of thing, and then just being like, what do you mean? What do you mean? It's like when people complain about like the success of like something that's shit or this sort of stuff. At the end of the day, it's like you people are making it successful. All of you who are like buying and supporting it and these sort of things. You could like, even if you hate watching, you're helping it grow. Like if you're saying I miss when rap used to be like this, then why are you helping the people you're saying you don't like get bigger? It doesn't make any sense. Literally pointing that out. And that doesn't go for music, that goes for everything. The amount of times people moan about something that is like big and popular, but then complain about it is crazy. I like, it's absolutely insane. It's crazy. There was actually like an OnlyFans model who said this and was like talking about like the stigma behind like OnlyFans. And she's like, this is such a controversial topic, so I don't remember up. But she literally was saying like, at the end of the day, we're only popular because people make us popular. It's like if people wanted tomorrow, we would all be out of jobs. We'd all be like have to go work in the fast food industry. It's like at the end of the day, people are making us popular and then hating us because we're popular, but then buying subscriptions. It's like at the end of the day, that is what makes everything in this world big. It is support from people.
Did the killer might could be platinum. Y'all priorities fucked up.
Priorities being fucked up.
Innocent Crown Vic, my memory been gone since. No ask about no camera blocking at award shows. No ask about my bitch. No ask about my foes. Unless you asking me about power. Yeah, I got a lot of it. I'm the only nigga next to Snoop that can push the button. Had the coast on standby. Kid out, what up? I heard they opened up Pandora's box. I boxed in my land by a landslide. Nah, homie, we too sensitive. It spill out to the streets. I make the call and get the coast involved. The history repeat. But I resolved inside that private hall while sitting down with Jay. He said it's funny how one verse can fuck up the game. I've been A1 since day one, you niggas boo-boo. I remember you was conflicted.
Oh my
Misusing
word.
your influence.
This guy.
Sometimes I did the same. Abusing my power full of resentment. Resentment that turned into a deep depression. Found myself screaming in the hotel room. I didn't want to self-destruct. The evils of Lucy was all around me. So I went running for answers. Until I came home. But that didn't stop survivor's guilt. Going back and forth trying to convince myself the stripes I earned. Or maybe how A1 my foundation was. But while my loved ones was fighting a continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one.
Ooh, while my love used to be fighting a continuous war back in the city, I was entering a new one. This man. I don't think I could ever compliment Kendrick enough, by the way. I don't think I could. I don't think there's any words I can ever say that are going to compliment this man enough. And I find it crazy. I knew nothing about him like a couple of months ago. Nothing. This journey is completely come out of nowhere. We started this journey because I'm just some idiot, like white guy from Brighton here in the UK who knew fuck all about hip hop. Who knew a few artists and growing up had a few albums and didn't know any of the names. Any of the big names from the past, any of the names today, like knew nothing. And like when Kendrick and Drake like had this beef, I knew nothing. The only thing I knew on the news, they'd be like, this guy's winning, oh, the Super Bowl. And I was like, cool. Like, that was it. And then jumping into this and understanding more of the culture and the importance behind it and the deeper meanings inside the lyrics and the topical like, it's crazy when you deep this. Like when you're just on the outside vibing to a track, and then when you actually like listen to the music and you actually take in the music and you understand the importance of the music and the importance of the message, if anything, it just fucking frustrates you. Because like you just have like people, like I always wonder when you have like people like Kendrick who are like on the other side, you know? Like they're in that world, but they're also in our world. They've got one foot in both, and no one listens. You know, like this is the equivalent of Kendrick Lamar. It is everyone standing outside of a building. Kendrick's part of that crowd, and we're all looking inside of the building, and we're angry at the building, but we also want to go in the building. You know, and we're not really sure what's going on there. And then one day, someone gets brave enough to enter the building. You know, and that's Kendrick Lamar in this situation. He puts one foot in the door, looks in. And there's thousands of us standing there, and they go, and we were like, what is it? What's in there? And he goes, it's awful. You know, it's absolutely awful. All these people are controlling us. They riled us up to make us out here yelling anyway. I can see the computer screens. They've got chips in our heads, all of this sort of stuff. We're fucked. We're fucked. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. But I'm like saying that. But then, turns around, he can see, and I was just not believing him. I was just going, he's probably lying. I'm going to go look for myself. You know, stepping over that threshold, stepping over that boundary, not trusting, staying outside of the building. And it is crazy when you have people like Kendrick who are so respectful and just like humble and honest and open and transparent, like on the other side and doing songs like this and talking about how these people are fighting these people and how all our priorities are fucked up, and it's like we're too focused on like the color of someone's skin or like who they voted for or these sort of things, and these are what our priorities are, you know. And we moan about things, but then we support the things we're moaning about, helping them grow, but then like complaining about it at the same time. And Kendrick just saying, they're like, are you guys idiots? Like just looking at us going, are you all stupid? Like how many times I gotta point this out? And that's what this music feels like. Like that song in particular as well, talking about the priorities of people just being all fucked up. I feel like this album, and like I've said it multiple times, is somehow Kendrick reading a diary, but also looking at the country. And the thing is, that's the world. Like here in the UK, it's the same. It's not to the same extreme level, but it's the same, right? That division is here. And even like I said, it's not the same, but it's everywhere else as well. And it shouldn't be. And it's crazy that it is. It is crazy. I find like that division, and I don't just mean division in politics, I mean division in everything. And it's over stupid shit. It feels like as like humans, we just have to fight about something. And I sound like such a dick saying this right now. I'm not like here going like, we need world peace. That's not, because I don't want people to like tuning out thinking I'm some sort of like that, like person like that. But that's not what I mean. What I mean is it just feels like there's always got to be something to be pissed off about someone about. And isn't it just fucking exhausting? We've always got to hate someone for some shit, you know, always. And it just feels like it's always someone else telling us that we have to hate that person. It's never our own opinion. It's always someone else, someone who's comfortable, got loads of money, always telling us that we should hate someone else. Always. That's the pattern has been here forever. And we always fall for it. Always. And I don't mean us as individuals, I just mean us as people. It's crazy, isn't it? And it's eye-opening when you have Kendrick singing about it, rapping about it, talking about it, being so open and plain with us. It's eye-opening. And we all know it. We still all do it. And we're still going to do it. It's nuts. This album, so far, is a fucking masterpiece. Just like Good Kid, Mad City, but in completely different ways. You know? Like, at the moment as it stands, I feel like if I was going to listen to one of these albums, I'd go Good Kid, Mad City. Like, I love that album. But I have to say, if I'm talking about the deeper brilliance and like lyrical genius of an album, even though how much I think Good Kid, Mad City is that, I would lean towards To Pimp a Butterfly so far. I feel like this album has been masterfully written and constructed. I feel like it is genius. And I don't just feel like that in the lyrics, I feel like that in the beats. The influence of jazz and blues and like having an album that's so like heavy on the cultural like aspects of it and like bringing that into the instrumental is fucking insanely just genius. Simple and genius, you know? Like just, it honestly feels like Kendrick just goes like 2 + 2 = 4 and it's the first time we've all heard it, you know? He like does these little simple things, but it's just masterful how he does them, how he incorporates them. Like it's crazy in the best way. I love this. I absolutely love this. I feel like if I was looking for a vibe, I'm putting on Good Kid, Mad City, which is crazy when you think about how dark that whole story is. But if I was looking to have my mind open, to have like, to just be blown away by the complete sheer transparency of someone just pouring their heart into their lyrics, you go to Pimp a Butterfly. This is mind-blowing. From Kendrick's like literally like talking about Lucy, talking about his personal issues, talking about his like mental health and where he is and how he's feeling, to talking about like the cultural divides that are being put on people by like either the color of their skin or the government or these sort of things, and like just talking about it and just saying like, look at this shit. Like but saying it in like 100 different ways, in the most brilliant different forms, with the most smooth freaking instrumental. It's like the best freaking class you could ever go to. You know, like you're going to school, you're sitting down, best class, educating us in the best fucking way. That's what this feels like. I feel like To Pimp a Butterfly, it should be like mandatory for everyone to listen to. It's that important. It has that much significance. As a human on planet Earth, you should have to listen to this album. Like, that's it. And I don't mean fucking listen. I don't mean just sit there and vibe. I mean listen. That's what this feels like. Every person out there with some kind of hate in their hearts needs to sit down and listen to this. You know? It blows your mind more when you get these people with that kind of hate in their hearts and they come from privilege. It's like, what the fuck are you hating, man? What are you hating? You've had such a good life. Where's that hate come from? It's crazy. And then you get people who have like a shit life full of love and kindness and openness. Why is that the norm? The kindest people in my life, the people that are going to give me everything they've got, are the people that have nothing to give. So weird, isn't it? I guess it's because those people know what it's like to be like that. And those people know what it's like, and not like to like want to give someone something. Like how important that would be. Like I said, I didn't have any kind of upbringing anywhere near close to this. Nothing. Like I can't even imagine calling my mum and if she ever said someone got shot, that'd be crazy. You know, like that'd be mind blowing. That'd be like national news. You know what I mean? But that's an everyday occurrence for like Kendrick's upbringing. But I had no money, nothing growing up, like no money at all. And even though like I was fine, I didn't like as a household we didn't have any money. So what I mean is, I always try and pride myself on making sure that you look after people. And the reason is because I knew what it was like having fuck all and how it sucked. So I just maybe that is that simple. You know? It is knowing what it's like. It's that simple. You know when people say walk a mile in their shoes? It's that simple. Maybe that's why the kindest people, the people I know in my life who would give me everything, don't have anything to give. Maybe that's why. It's because they know what it's like. Crazy how simple that is, isn't it? Again, like I said, simple, genius. The lyrics and like just saying like these obvious things, genius. So weird, isn't it? Oh, what an amazing album, man! I love this dude so much. It's crazy how in 2 months it's become a dream to one day meet this guy, just to shake his hand, just to say you are just one of the best humans ever. And mean every word. Talking about Kendrick makes me want to cry. This guy is just unreal. Jesus. I hope you enjoyed my reaction. Thank you so much for watching. It's very hot in my room, so if I look like I'm sweating, it's why I've got a fan pointed right at me right now. Super hot. Oh my word. Anyway, I love you wonderful people. Have an amazing week. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, my friends, you will see me in the next video.